The history of the model railroading as it started around 1900. It was a very famous, very popular toy for over 100 years, and it's passed down from father to children.
But today, good old Dad might not even recognize his favorite hobby.
The sound keeps getting better every year because technology is allowing the circuit boards to get smaller. Computers are more powerful in smaller packages than they used to be.
Recordings of real train whistles, liquid smoke-fueled chimneys. With each year that passes, model trains become more realistic. A reason behind the revival of what many railroad enthusiasts call the grandfather of hobbies.
I think the hobby is alive and well. As a matter of fact, I would go as far as to argue that we are in the golden age of the hobby.
And Edwards might be right. In 2010, the model railroad industry saw over $420 million of actual sales. 2 years later, estimated sales numbers spiked to over $500 million. That is a nearly $100 million increase in sales.
A big part of putting together a model railroad diorama is customizing. Customizing the scenery to look like a made-up town, or even the town that the modeler lives in.
It's a fictitious rendition, if you will, of the Borodino Landing on Skaneateles Lake.
Martin Collard, owner of Borodino Scale Line Train Shop in Elbridge, is in the party of model train engineers who are in it for the historic realism, chugging his way back in time to his birth year.
I model roughly 1948. It's remembering things of your childhood, and a lot of guys like to go back to that.
His handmade diorama speaks to the time period. Vintage cars and signs decorate Main Street.
The inspiration for these trees actually came from a camp that we used to have up in Canada. 2 cedar trees actually came out of the bank, and you used to lay in the crotch of them there and just lay out there and listen to the water. It was great.
For many, the history of model railroading meshes with their own personal histories. And maybe after all, that's what attracts people to the hobby. It's not simply a way to pass the time, but rather a reflection of themselves. Jeremy Menard, NCC News.